Sun, sea, sand and slime. Today we're exploring a brand new Shudder original coming to the platform tomorrow, Thursday the 9th of July 2020. D. Christopher here, bringing you brand new horror-fueled content every single week, giving you my recommendations on what to watch each weekend. And before we jump into today's main content, a little horror news. First, Fright Fest has just announced their revised date for the event, October 22nd to 25th. Even closer to Halloween, so mark it in your diaries, UK folk. And for those further afield, they are still running a digital event the 28th to the 31st of August. I had a call with them last week and can confirm that some films and interviews will be geo-locked to the UK, but others will be available in other territories. I will bring you some more news as it comes in. It's also been a great week for spooky content over at Netflix. The BBC's Dracula has been added, as has the new Ju-On The Grudge series, and of course Warrior Nun. They've also added a few new movies such as Session 9 and the Tales from the Crypt flagship, Bordello of Blood. Be sure to head over and check out the new tab there. But moving into today's review, the kind people at Shudder and Exile PR sent me over a screener a few days ago on The Beach House, a brilliant new release directed by Jeff Brown and starring Liana Liberto and Noah LeGros. And this is a pretty LeGros film, with such scenes as this. I posted a quick reaction to this trailer as well as the other new Shudder originals coming out this month in a video last week. You can check that out here, and if you're into horror and thriller movies like I am, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss all the latest news and reviews, often before the movies are on general release. So, The Beach House. It goes a little something like this. A romantic getaway for two troubled college sweethearts turns into a struggle for survival when unexpected guests and the surrounding environment exhibit signs of a mysterious infection. The Beach House is essentially a body horror, and a very smartly written one at that, with beautiful features throughout. The dialogue feels natural, the story is solid, and even though the cast is only 4 people deep, it's an exhilarating film with lots of subtleties which keep your brain ticking as the plot begins thickening. The story is well-rounded and focuses in on the interactions between the lead couple, Randall and Emily, and their unexpected guests, Mitch and Jane. As it turns out, the beach house in question is owned by Randall's estranged dad, who doesn't know the kids are heading over there for a weekend away, and has opened his doors to his friends Mitch and Jane over that weekend. This film is on the shorter side at only 88 minutes, but that's the perfect length to tell the story. And while some scenes do go on for a little while, that just adds to the reality, fly-on-the-wall feel, especially when matched with the regular occurrence of handheld footage. One thing to note is that director Jeff Brown is primarily known as a location manager, who's worked on such films as The Taking of Pelham 123, The Wolf of Wall Street, The OA and Spider-Man 3. And due to this coveted skill, it's no surprise that the locations in this feature are absolutely stunning, while retaining a bleak, isolated feel despite the welcoming colours you're greeted with as the story opens. The juxtaposition presented between such a beautiful atmosphere and the horrific events that ensue give this film a really unique feel from the top, and create a huge contrast after the first hour when we move into the darkness of the third act. The cast do a wonderful job of creating a believable scenario, and the way they work together is flawless. You can feel the energy between both couples, as well as the uncertainty some characters have towards one another. I'm trying not to spoil anything here. The dialogue flows and is used correctly. You're not forced to listen to what should be internal monologues being spoken aloud when a character is alone. You're left to understand how each person is feeling through their actions, expressions, and the backstory that's built up as we move forward to guide your assumptions. Production-wise, there are some beautiful scenes here with some unique angles and some beautiful images created throughout. Some things are left unexplained, but again, the clever writing of one character in particular gives you a clear indication of what's going on from a brief monologue before everything goes swiftly downhill for the characters. The special effects are used sparingly, which makes the times when something does happen even more effective. The practical and visual effects are very lifelike, which is to be expected from a team with Hereditary and I Am Legend on their collective CVs. And the production design in general is fantastic, with strong elements of The Mist alongside other sci-fi-esque horrors that take place in reality. The soundtrack is well put together. The music is used to accentuate certain elements, but then just sinks into the background when it's just keeping the pacing going. And in terms of pace, it's perfectly done to fall in line with the story to give you a feeling similar to that of the characters. Some people do talk about production, but I don't see a lot of people discussing the grade of horror films, the colouring of each scene to give it tone and emotion. But it's clear that meticulous detail was crafted here during the finishing process that helps to create the welcoming atmosphere at the top and the gradual deconstruction as we move towards the end. Overall, this was a great experience, and despite my bar being set pretty high at the moment with the amount of stellar content being released currently, I can't help but score this highly. 7.5 out of 10 is my score. It's definitely recommended. You can catch The Beach House on Shudder when it launches tomorrow, so be sure to let me know what you thought of it when you've watched the film. I personally tend to be more of a supernatural horror-leaning kind of guy, but I do have a sweet spot for body horrors, which this production hit on perfectly, and I look forward to seeing what Jeff comes up with next. I will be waiting avidly on the edge of my seat, ready for the next drop. If you found this video useful or entertaining in any way, please consider subscribing. As a small channel, this helps me show producers and distributors that you guys enjoy the videos, which leads me to bringing further exclusive content your way. I have been and ever will be D. Christopher, and I will see you in the next one.